I'm Doris from the Lilburn branch. I'm going to talk to you about saving for the future and why it is important. Saving became important to me after college and a rough start in finding a career because I never wanted to have credit card debt again. I'll take you through why you should save. We'll talk about options for savings accounts, and then I'll give a brief overview of retirement savings investment types. I will point out resources that Gwinnett County Public Library has to help you research investments and plan for retirement if you are ready to take that step. Why should we save? One reason is for emergencies. According to the Federal Reserve, 40% of Americans don't have enough money saved up to cover a $400 expense. I knew a college student recently who had problems with her car, and it was going to be an $800 charge. Coincidentally, she had lots of credit card offers in her mailbox, so she called in and got a credit card and put the repair on that card. She paid 17% interest on the card and could not pay her balance at the end of each month. She turned out paying significantly more than $400 for that repair. Another reason why you want to save is that you could be laid off or lose your job. I know a man who lost his job. Luckily, it was a temporary layoff. However, it lasted several months. He had quite a lot in savings. So, with his unemployment and just a little side job money, he was having no problem paying the bills because he had money in savings. It's suggested that you have 3 to 6 months of cash equal to your monthly paycheck in a liquid savings account at a bank or credit union. If you can't do that much, don't worry. Any amount is going to be a good starting point. Is it always best to start your emergency account now? On the left here, 15% is a typical interest you pay on balances left on credit cards at the end of the month. On the right, 1% is your best bet for a liquid savings account. Liquid just means that it's easily accessible without any penalties for withdrawing. If you have credit card or other small loan debt, you might want to use the extra from your budget to pay that off first. It's like getting a savings rate of 15%. Stop using that particular card until it's paid. Your goal is to pay off all credit card balances in full at the end of the month. So you'll just pay one credit card off and then another one. And then when you're in the position to start saving, you'll want to consider several factors: interest rate, type of account, and convenience. Interest rates are at historic lows, so don't expect to get much in liquid savings. Choose a credit union or online bank, and you might get a little better rate than your bank down the street, but it's not going to be significant. Don't let low interest rates deter you. The point is to save something. If you put $50 away each week, you are at least going to get $2,600. That can really help in a pinch. Now I'll talk a little about types of accounts. You'll want to start with a savings or money market account. A money market account is basically a savings account, usually requiring a higher initial deposit and limiting your number of withdrawals per month. Once you have your emergency fund goal in these types of accounts, you can consider certificates of deposit, otherwise known as CDs, for longer term goals. These CDs, if you choose a longer term one of 1 to 5 years, are going to give you a better rate than savings accounts, but you'll need to keep the money in the account for that period of time or pay a penalty. When choosing where to save and how to save, convenience is key. Make your deposits and your withdrawals convenient. Make savings automatic. You won't miss $50 as much if you never see it. Have that amount directed to the savings account from your paycheck or automatically from your checking account at the beginning of each month. Withdrawal also needs to be convenient. Does the bank have an app or a website? Is it accessible through ATMs with little to no fees? Now we've covered how to save for the short term. Now I'd like to move on to retirement savings. Why do we need to save for retirement? Because we want to live as well or better than we are now without working. Social Security will not be enough to live on, and pensions, where you get a set amount per month from an employer after retirement, is getting rarer in the private sector and even in the public sector. Now we will talk about retirement account types. We'll start with the little quiz. What accounts would you use to save for retirement if you work for a company or government organization? 401k is the most recognizable name for a retirement account. There is often an employer match to these accounts of a certain percentage of your contributions, so you want to start contributing to this as soon as possible. 403bs are basically the same thing, except it is for those who work for a government entity. What if you are self-employed and make your earned income outside of a company? What type of account might you use? An IRA, which is short for individual retirement account. You could set up an account on your own and contribute a set amount each year. The amount you can contribute per year is set by the government. There are other types of retirement accounts. Some employers have company stock plans. A Roth IRA is just an IRA with different tax consequences instead of getting a tax break on deposits. As with an IRA, the tax break for a Roth is with the withdrawals. Annuities are insurance company products where you give up a certain amount of cash for a monthly payout. This only scratches the surface of the retirement investment opportunities. If you want further help deciding how you want to save on retirement accounts or any area of personal finance, librarians have put together a personal finance resource list of websites and books that they recommend. We also have online subscriptions. Value Line is for stock research, and Morningstar is for mutual funds. Mutual funds are a collection of stocks put together by experts in the field. Lynda is our library resource with videos on a wide array of topics. There are some good ones on investing and retirement. You will need to log on to these resources with your library card, but they are free if you have one. How do we get to these resources? GwinnettPL.org. Go to the tab called Learn and Explore. You will see a drop-down menu of library resources. You want adult digital resources and our personal finance guide. To look for our premium resources, explore digital resources by clicking Business and Finance on the digital resources page. These are just a few of the resources. Keep scrolling down for more. In conclusion, I've talked about why to save, touched on how to save, including for retirement, and shown you resources where you can get further information from Gwinnett County Library. Savings can be easy if you take out a little each month, and it can be fun when you don't have to sweat the next expense because you already have the money. Join me next week for the next session, which explores credit cards and credit scoring.